Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you that what he has for you is gonna be big.
I believe
that it's my season.
that it's my season.
You ought to declare that over your own life. Say, I believe
I believe
that it's my time.
that it's my time.
It's my time.
It's my time.
And I
This is
can
Pastor
feel it.
Antwan Butler back with another episode of Born For It. That's what I need you to cross your arms and tell yourself. I may not have been born in it. I may not have been born with it, but I was born for it. Listen, you watch this YouTube channel because I believe that some of you were just like me. You believe that there's a deeper sense of meaning. There's a deeper sense of purpose for your life. You just need somebody to inspire you. You need somebody to help you bring it out. And that's why this YouTube channel was created. So listen, I know you got your tools. I know you got your pen. I know you got your paper. We're getting ready to go to work. But I have to be honest with you. I'm almost saddened to bring y'all this episode. That's right. The Last Dance is over. They've done segment 9 and 10. So it's officially over. So I'm kind of saddened in a way. But at the same time, I'm excited because I have learned a lot from this documentary. I told y'all I don't watch television just to be watching television. I love the entertainment part, but I want some information, right? I want to get something that's going to that I'm going to be able to use into my life to make me better, to improve my situation, right? So, lessons from The Last Dance. This is the last episode that I'll be doing on Born For It for. So I hope that it's been a blessing to you in your life. So what I was thinking, what information can I bring them from the last 2 episodes that I watched? But this is what I decided to do. I decided to think about an overall theme from all 10 of the segments. Like if I watched all 10, what would I see as the overarching theme? Like what is the underlying sentiment of what I learned? And I want you to think about what I'm saying right now, because I'm gonna make a statement. It's gonna sound crazy when I make the statement, but I'm gonna make a statement, but it's gonna make sense when I get into the discussion. Listen, I want you to write this down. Special people are only special because they do. Listen, I'm going to say that again. Special people are only special because they do. Right? So I was watching the documentary. I'm pulling out tidbits. I'm looking for nuggets, anything I can use to improve my life, right? So we had an opportunity for 10 segments to watch Michael Jordan's life, right? To watch the Chicago Bulls, other great players, right? Hall of Fame people. We had an opportunity to peer and to look into their lives and to see what made them great. And I'll tell you what, I thought about Michael Jordan, and then my mind began to think about other people that I like and other people that I admire, right? And there's some people in your life that you like and you admire, and their talents and their gifts are on full display, right? And then we've moved them into this category of special, right? We call them special, and rightfully so. And there's nothing wrong with calling somebody special. There's nothing wrong with attributing that characteristic to a person who has done what it takes to become special. But what is wrong is when you think that just because they're special, you aren't. Listen, I'm going to say that again. Just because you believe that they're special, that you are. In other words, just because they did it, you can't. Listen, there was a common denominator. I need you to understand what we may have missed, what we may have overlooked in the documentary, because we're so enamored, right? We're so in love when people are at their best, when they're at the height of their success, when they're at their pinnacle. We love watching them perform, right? And what we can mistakenly do is watch somebody in their glory and forget that they had a story. So we can watch somebody at their high point and think that they didn't have to do anything to get there. Listen, if you watch the documentary closely, from Michael Jordan to Scottie Pippen to Isaiah Thomas, to Patrick Ewing, to Reggie Miller, to Larry Bird, to all of those great players that we had access to for 10 straight hours, you'll notice there's a common theme. They weren't all born on top. They weren't all born into superstardom. If you look, there was usually some story of a humble beginning. They had to grind. They had to put forth hard work, right? They had to work on their craft. And it was a combination and a culmination of those moments that come together that we now put them in the category of superstar. But listen, they didn't do that you couldn't do. Oh yeah, they have gifts and talents. But guess what? You got gifts and talents. They had a great work ethic. Guess what? You can have a great work ethic. They had people support them. Guess what? You have people that support you, right? They had an opportunity. And guess what? You get opportunities. And then I realized the difference wasn't the gift, right? It wasn't necessarily the hard work. It wasn't the support or even just the opportunity. What it was between them, which we call superstars, and other people who don't reach that level, is that when it was time for them to put those things together, they just did it. Ain't deep. They just did it. And what I realized is that 8 out of 10 people will always talk about what they want to do. They may even get to the point of writing it down. And we call them dreamers. And we see them every day. And we always say, what if they would have done this? She should have been this. He was so great at that, but it never worked out, right? Because the difference is between those who we call superstars and other people, they just do. So that's what I want to bring to you today. Listen, you can have your own type of superstardom, but you got to do. You got a gift. You have talent. You have time. You have people pushing you. You have opportunities, but you can't sleep. You got to be like Nike. And you got to just do it. And guess what? When you do it over and over, you create new habits. And when you create new habits, look, you develop new skills. And when you develop new skills, guess what? You gain new supporters. And when you gain new supporters, guess what? You get more opportunities. And when you get more opportunities, guess what? The world opens itself up to your gift. And then before you know it, you'll be on another level. You'll be in another dimension. And somebody out of the corner of your eye will say, wow, she's a superstar. He's a superstar. So there is no difference between them and you, is that they do. So what's the object of what I'm telling you today? Is that every time you get an opportunity to do, never miss the opportunity. There was a segment in episode 10. Listen, this blew my mind. There was a segment in episode 10. This one segment changed my life. All I had to do was just have watched this one segment. I didn't have to watch the rest of it. There was one segment, it was either episode 9 or 10, I can't remember which one. I think it was episode 10. Michael Jordan was sitting in the locker room. There was this guy talking to Michael Jordan, but you couldn't see the guy's face. You only could hear his voice. When I saw that segment, it was as though God, who I could not see, was speaking to me the same way this guy was speaking to Michael Jordan. I just made that kind of parallel, right? So Michael was sitting there, and this guy was talking to Michael. They don't tell us what the first part of the conversation was. They just go straight into that part of the dialogue. Listen what the guy said. He said, Michael, some people do, some people don't. That's just the way it is. Then Mike thought about it, and he rehearsed it back. He said, some people do, and some people don't. The guy said again, that's right, Michael. Some people do, and some people don't. And that's the way it is. What he was saying to Michael, he knew Michael was going into his final game, what would have been the last game of his career. And up until that point, Michael had always been a doer. And what I believe he was trying to remind Mike of is, Mike, you've always been a doer. You don't want to be remembered on your last game as the guy who did it. And I'm telling you, the only difference between you and success is doing. The only difference between you, your goals, and your dreams is doing. The only difference between you changing your family tree is you doing. But listen, I know this about you. I believe in you, because you may not have been born in it. You may not have been born with it, but you were born for it. Come on, let's go do it.
to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you that what he has for you is gonna be big.
I believe
That it's my season.
that it's my season.
You ought to declare that over your own life. Say, I believe
I believe
that it's my time.
that it's my